Are there weeds in your garden? Sometimes the problem is not that you don't know how to grow something beautiful. The problem is that something else has been growing alongside it. You have been watering, praying, nurturing, and believing for the garden to flourish, but there are things beneath the surface that are competing with what God is trying to produce. Weeds don't usually announce themselves. They grow quietly until one day you realize that they have taken up the space that was supposed to belong to something else. Some of the weeds are resentment, pride, offense, unforgiveness, anger, disappointment, and bitterness. You may have been hurt by something that happened years ago, and although the situation has passed, the wound remained. You may have forgiven with your mouth, but continue rehearsing the offense in your heart. And every time you replay what happened, you water the weed. Every time you remind yourself why you have a right to be angry, you give it more room to grow. And eventually the weed begins affecting everything around it. One of the dangerous things about weeds is that they compete with what you're trying to grow. You can plant love, but resentment will compete with it. You can plant peace, but anger will choke it. You can plant humility, but pride will compete with it. You can't expect the garden to flourish while refusing to deal with what is growing in the soil. Sometimes God isn't asking you to plant something new. He is asking you to pull something out. And pulling weeds can be uncomfortable because you have to acknowledge what is actually there. You have to say, Lord, this thing is in me, but this is not who I am. Lord, this is in my heart, and I need you to deal with it. That is where healing begins. God cannot remove what we continually defend. Sometimes the greatest breakthrough will come when you stop protecting the weed and allow God to pull it out by the root. The Lord wants you to take a look at your garden. What has been growing there that God has never planted? What attitude have you allowed to take root? What offense have you continued to water? What bitterness have you given permission to remain? Don't be afraid to let God put his hand in the soil of your heart. He is not trying to destroy your garden. He is trying to make room for what he planned to flourish. Pull the weeds, guard the soil, tend to what is good, because when the weeds are removed, the things that God has planted in you finally have room to grow.